They staged it like a triumph. An elegant evening at the gallery, flutes of champagne, friends and strangers arranged like witnesses to their cleverness. She had invited half the city and every face that mattered to her. Influencers who loved a scandal, neighbors who liked gossip warmed up, and the one or two exes who still measured life by the length of applause. When she called me the week before to say she was curating a piece about truth, I heard the undertone. This was a ceremony disguised as art. She wanted an audience. She wanted a performance. She wanted, above all, to humiliate me in front of people who had once been kind and now wanted to be entertained. I could have refused. I could have raged at the audacity of being baited into a spectacle where I would be the villain. Instead, I accepted because if she wanted a stage, I would give her one that burned the set she'd built. If she insisted on laying my life across an easel for ridicule, I would hang in full light every carefully curated lie she'd used to shape herself. The difference between her plan and mine was simple. She wanted private cruelty made public. I wanted private truth made impossible to deny. The gallery smelled of lemon and varnish the night of the event. She wore a dress like a promise and a smile that practiced kindness. The invitations had asked guests to arrive early for a special introduction. Cameras angled in corners like silent jurors. The curator, the friend who'd written flattering blurbs about both of us for years, began with the usual patter about art reflecting life, and then gestured toward me with the loose air of someone revealing a prop. Tonight, she said, we're exploring the cost of honesty. And so, we asked someone whose story needed telling to be here. The audience leaned in as if expecting a confession. She had prepared a slideshow, images of my worst moments, clipped messages taken out of context, a montage that suggested a man who'd been selfish and cruel. She had practiced laughter at the right times, had rehearsed the sharp little jokes that make humiliation sting like salt. She wanted the room to close around me like a collar. But when she clicked the remote and the first slide rose, what she had not prepared for was the flip I had set beneath her own stage. A second sequence queued on my own laptop, ready to respond. As the montage painted me as the villain, a different set of images rose on the adjoining screen. Her text to an unknown number, hotel confirmation emails with names smudged by haste, receipts for gifts she'd claimed came from friends. I had not gathered these things in a fit of spite. I had collected them the way a curator collects truth, carefully, with provenance. Each file had a date, a timestamp. Each message matched a moment when she'd reshaped a memory to suit herself. I let the room absorb them one by one until the rhythm of their murmurs changed pitch. Where there had been snickers, there were now breaths like people stepping back from a curb. She tried to laugh it off, the practiced tilt of her head as if she were both shocked and amused by the revelation. These are lies, she said. They're manipulations. Her voice wobbled on the last word. I had expected that response. I'd expected the athlete's denial, the politician's pivot. I had also expected the people I'd loved less to forgive easily, to take the bait she offered and continue the chorus she'd arranged. But truth behaves like gravity. Given enough witnesses and documents, it pulls everything into place. The photographer she'd hired, someone who'd once taken our anniversary shots, shifted uncomfortably and perhaps for the first time that night, looked at the dates attached to the files. A friend who liked neatness asked for sources, automatically, cool as an editor. I provided them, raw images, unaltered metadata, phone records. The room moved from gossip to evidence. The curator's voice, which had been buoyant with the thrill of a reveal, faltered at the mention of timestamps. People who had been sipping wine now leaned forward with the focused attention of jurors reading a ledger. She retreated to the back of the stage like a child who has lost her script. The laughter that had once been aimed at me returned now like a boomerang, directed at the woman who'd hoped to shape a narrative about my nature. She had wanted spectacle. The spectacle arrived, only it was different from what she'd imagined. The unveiling of the story she had written in the dark, and now couldn't edit.